announcement has been paid for by
the ENN podcast.
He has a good energy, you guys.
Yeah. Can you believe it?
Sports.
Can you feel it? Can you feel that excitement?
The merchandise, wearing the hats.
Chris Wild here live from Lincoln Financial.
And I'm telling you, if you let Eli Manning walk into that stadium and make you look stupid and get a Giants W.
Music.
Wow. Whoa. Shit.
And more.
What's his next book going to be called? Spineless?
like
Welcome back, or just welcome to a very special live stream here at the ENN podcast. I'm, of course, professional wrestler Chris Wild, and this is for the first time, and I hope this works out decently, but this is the first time I'm actually doing this through 3 different platforms, and that's, of course, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. And this is an impromptu thing, too, by the way. Let me get this out of the way. Very impromptu live stream. I usually do these. They're usually kind of scheduled for me. Just a little bit about the channel. If you haven't checked it out before, you'll find everything here. This channel was created due to my love for the Philadelphia Eagles and some of the reactions and reaction videos that I've created over time with this football team. Of course, I've added music video reactions, the Sopran Bros special with Zach the Ripper comics, and just about anything. This channel has become a platform for me to speak about anything and everything. And the last time I talked to you guys about mental health was when the great Daphne Unger passed away, when she unfortunately took her life. And recently, and just today, I've had people that I know that have taken their life as today. And I'm not going to mention any names just due to the respect of the family, because I really haven't seen anything official out there. But somebody that works with me in my law enforcement career passed away today due to some mental health things. And I think it's very important to talk about, especially during the holidays right now. It's a very tough time for a lot of people. A time that's supposed to be very joyous is, in fact, very stressful for a lot of us. And I said this in a video the other day. Sometimes, it can be as simple as, the gifts that you want to give are not the gifts that you can afford. And a lot of times that brings stress on the people. And especially in today's era of COVID-19, it seems like everything around you, price-wise, is increasing extramentally. From gas to just regular stuff that you find in the grocery store, such as meat or milk. It seems like everything is just becoming so much more expensive than it used to be. And again, it can cause a lot of strain on a lot of people in this country. This is a working country, man. This is, middle-class America. We are a working blue-collar type of society. And at times, again, money is a big thing, and mental health, not that it revolves around money, but it just seems like around this time, the holidays, that can really kind of push you to your brink. And I speak to you as a guy that has struggled with mental health in my time. And, I never thought that I would. And again, people that have watched me, this is going to be kind of regurgitation as far as you've probably heard this before from me, but, it was being a professional wrestler and, living a life that not a lot of people get to live. I've done a lot of really cool things, but it still was a couple years ago. It got to the point where it was a struggle just to get out of bed, just to, operate normally. And I didn't know the reason. And that was the biggest thing. I would get out of bed and it was a goal just to sit upright without dreading the day. That was such a big goal of mine. And I didn't know why. I didn't know exactly why. It's not like I live this horrible life. It's not like, I've got a pretty decent job. I've got some really awesome people in my life. I got a great family. It was like, why am I feeling this way? And those of you that battle depression or have had a case of depression can kind of know what I'm talking about here. It's the just just making it awake type of feeling. And a lot of people don't understand that don't struggle with this. But it comes out of nowhere. It hits you out of nowhere. And it's really tough some days. And it got to the point where a friend of mine started going to therapy. I never thought that this person would. I mean, they have, a great life as well. And it got me the push to go see a therapist and start working. I've worked so hard on my body, in the gym. And that was such a big thing, especially being a professional wrestler, that I never thought about the biggest muscle on my body, about actually training that. And that's the brain. And it's still something I do to this day. And I still struggle with those demons of depression that lurk up on me every now and then. And again, it's not an easy thing to deal with: anxiety, depression. And it can get the best of us. And I think, and again, this comes to play today because, again, when you hear the news of somebody passing that you work with and you've worked with for well over a decade, and you hear that they took their life. I mean, and again, this is anybody out there that knows me or that is close to the situation. If you want to talk, here's the time. Leave your comments. I'm trying to follow the comments on Facebook. It's the easiest to comment on the actual YouTube page. But anybody that's out there that's hurting, that's feeling some kind of way, it does not hurt to talk. And I'm absolutely here for you. For the people that are struggling with depression, that may just, and again, especially for us men, it's tough. Because we grew up our whole life, especially, the guys my age, that are in their mid to late 30s. You grew up your whole life, and being a man, you're supposed to be strong. You're supposed to kind of hide your feelings. You're supposed to be strong for the people around you and comfort the people around you, to be the breadwinner. I mean, that's how we grew up. That's the things that were taught to us. And they maybe not by our parents, but by society, by the things that you watched on TV, by the movies that you watched. I mean, men were not supposed to have feelings. And in a lot of different cultures, a man that showed his feelings was looked at as being weak. And I'm here to tell you right now, that's absolutely one of the faults of society. And it's absolutely untrue. I think being able to show your feelings, being able to talk, and the light on this video is annoying me, guys. I wish I had more time to set this up. But being able to talk about your feelings, I think it's a strength. I think it shows, it takes a lot of balls to talk to somebody about how you're feeling, especially when you might have these really dark thoughts inside you, thoughts of suicide. These are things, and it's, I tried to explain this to somebody close to me not long ago. Because they said to me, this was a family member, it said to me, if you're ever feeling this way, like, talk to me, like, I'm here, like, call me, talk to me. I'm here. You don't have to be alone. You don't have to have those feelings. And it's when it happens, the last thing you think about, the last thing in your mind is talking to a loved one. It's just, you don't even think about it. Like, this isn't something, at least in my, or people that I've known, that I've talked to in group sessions about this isn't something that is super planned out. I mean, maybe for some people it is, but it's not something that is super planned out. And it just happens. Paz, what's going on, brother? It's, I got this platform, dude. And I think it's important, not just to talk about sports, or not just to talk about, entertainment. You have a platform like this. It's okay to let everybody know that it's not just me that feels this way. And that's great how you put that in the comments there. Brad says you never know who needs to hear this. And it's okay. It's okay to not be okay. I've got a lot of people that I know that deal with things like this in their life. And they say, they say to me, like, people expect me to be strong and power through the rough times. People that are dealing with family issues, that may have somebody in their family that's dealing with this. They feel like they need to be strong for them. No, it's okay. The term strong and weak, to me, it's when it comes to feelings, or it comes to things going inside your body, that's not the time to use those terms. Weakness is something, if if I can't lift up this awesome championship belt that I have from 1CW, the workhorse title, maybe I'm a little bit weak, okay? But if I can't get over a major hurdle mentally in my life, it does not mean I'm weak. If I want to cry about something, if I want to cry when I watch The Notebook, I'm not saying I do, but let's just say I did. It doesn't make me weak. It does not make you weak. Feeling something, being able to feel, and think about that as a human being, and we're given a certain sense of free will, and we're given these emotions. And I don't know what your spirituality is, and really, this isn't a podcast about religion or anybody's beliefs, but you're given the ability. Somebody somewhere, where what you believe, somebody somewhere gave you this ability to feel, and that's what we do, man. And that's getting these feelings out. There's nothing wrong with that. These strongest men, the biggest, strongest men, guys, they feel stuff and they have these issues. I'm talking professional wrestlers, I'm talking bodybuilders, I'm talking football players. And while I say football players, as you know, I'm a sports guy. This is a sports podcast. Right now, it's not all about sports. It's about talking about mental health, depression, anxiety. And I talk about these big names, these big guys that you would never think going through this. I think of Philadelphia Eagles right tackle, Lane Johnson, who is one of the biggest men I've ever seen, one of the most intimidating men I have ever seen in my life. And he has struggled with anxiety and depression to the point where he had to take some games off. And I'm going to throw up this former interview he had with Jay Glazer. I think it's very important. And it opened up a door and a window to me that made me feel even better about going to therapy and getting these feelings out. So if you guys would just take a minute or a couple of minutes and listen to this, I found it impactful, and I hope you do too, no matter what team you like.
This is a beast, man. And it's one of those things, it goes to bed with you, man. It wakes up with you.
There he is.
It's there all the time.
What we doing now?
Until you can get a sense on how to control this, how to manage it, it'll eat you up. I was diagnosed with an anxiety disorder in college. The monster kept building and building and building. It finally came to a point where I said, I'm not going to take it no more.
This is the first time anybody's seeing you publicly speak since you've come back to the Eagles. What happened that day?
The first game against Atlanta, I told my mom, I said, something's really, really wrong with me. I don't know exactly what it is. I said, I'm miserable. I know my mind isn't right. I know my body isn't right. So I left, went back home. I didn't have any communication with the Eagles.
Johnson wrote that he has secretly been battling depression and anxiety for a long time.
Trying to describe that to people that have no clue or what it's like, it's very difficult. You lose touch of your sense of self. You lose touch of what's really going on around you. And what we really tend to do is lock up, not want to say anything. I felt bad for my team, but there were signs that this wasn't something that was new, the spur of the moment. This was going on for, months.
When my depression and anxiety kicks in, it's a physical thing. I feel it, for me, I feel it on the left side of my gut and in my heart, like the world hates me, like the world's gonna end. When you wake up in the morning, you get hit with that wave. What are those voices saying to you?
Real quick, I want to pause. What he just said there, it hits me so hard, man. Like when he talks about the feeling, like when he has the anxiety or he has the depression, like how he feels it on his left side, like for me, it's in my chest. Like it feels like there's a weight on top of my chest. And it I can't move it. It won't go away. And sometimes it moves down to my stomach a little bit. And man, it's like it's really such an emotional thing, especially Jay Glazer, to say like, and he just feels like the world hates him, like for no reason. Like this is stuff everybody not everybody, but this is stuff, man, how can I say this the right way? This is stuff that people deal with. They've held inside for so long. And it's okay to let this out. You're looking at two respected men in their professions, getting this out, and it's such an important message that they're saying. So I'm gonna shut up and hit play.
Feels like doom. You just want to run. I just want to run away and not come back, kind of thing. A lot of nausea, a lot of throwing up every day.
You throw up every day from this? Your anxiety?
It got so bad. Was really starting to throw up blood. Nerves, really have tremors in my hands. This is something I've dealt with for a long time. And, you know, there's medications that help with this, but a lot of it, you can't mask everything.
How come you never said anything during that?
Because I felt like I had my stuff, I guess, temporarily under control. I was ashamed, to be honest. In this league, the NFL, where it's, you know, gladiator type sport, is something that it's not often talked about, but is often felt throughout the league. Basically,
you need to talk about it.
Yeah,
it's got to be talked about.
Need to talk about it, but yeah, man, I was living in hell for a long time. And I thought achievements, how I've done on the field, was going to make it feel better. It only amplified the situation. And yeah, I mean, I'm glad I'm sitting here talking about it, finally being open about it.
It's way more impressive than shutting down a pass rusher. For you to sit here, something that you were ashamed of, and open up and show the world it's okay to not be okay, it's okay to talk about.
Because people are fear of judgment. I'm scared of judgment. I mean, you look at guys when they get done after a game, what do? First thing they do is go on Twitter, search your name.
Right.
And that's me. I'm talking to myself. But that's the world that you kind of need to escape. You got to get out of there and start having a purpose and a why. And I guess I didn't know my why for a while. You know, it took a lot of time to really focus on myself to get the help I needed and to get into a good mindset again.
Give me one final message if you have for people at home watching this right now. If you can give them advice, because you've now gone through it.
I'd say find your most closest friend, family member, tell a loved one. And if it's to a degree of seriousness, there's always help around the corner. That's the thing. It's not far. It's never out of reach. And whenever you do this, you realize that you have a lot more in common with everybody else around you than you think. And so that's the best part about all this.
Proud of you, man.
Wow, really deep stuff. I've seen that interview, man, maybe 10, 11 times now, and it gets me every time. Like, just to see this guy, man, this big, people don't, the TV doesn't do justice for the size that Lane Johnson is, man. Like, to see this big, powerful dude. He's got a barn where it's nothing but gym equipment. I think he calls it the Bro Barn, where they all train during the off season. I mean, this guy is a Viking. Like, he is, to see him, you know, say that, like, he fears judgment. Like, he would search his name on Twitter after a game, and you know, that depression and anxiety were such a big thing that he'd feel doom when he woke up. Like, that, to me, I mean, it just, it's not to the point where it makes me feel better about feeling a certain way, because look, these are feelings. Like, you're not, but it tells me, and to hear these guys say, like, it's okay to not be okay. You know, it kind of, it let me know, not that I already didn't know it, but might tell some other people, like, it's not a abnormal thing to feel the way that you feel. And, like, just being in professional wrestling and trying to climb a ladder in professional wrestling, I like professional wrestlers. There's so many of us, and trying to really get to 2 or 3 places. There's so many of us. And even a couple weeks ago, at just an outstanding 1CW show in-house in Delaware, if anybody wants information about getting to a show, you want to, you know, take some time off and not feel anything for a little while, but joy and excitement, come to a 1CW show. That's my cheap plug for them. But even then, you know, one of the guys that I worked with that night, we were picking apart every little thing that we did, man, because it was just natural, you know, everything that we did. And the fact is, we went out there and had the crowd from beginning and the end. We made people feel things. We did what we were supposed to do as artists in that ring, but we were just still sitting there picking apart every little thing about us. I had a photo shoot. I got some pictures back that were awesome. J. Lee Photography, just amazing at what they do. And I'm looking at myself and I'm picking apart every little thing. I mean, every photo shoot I do, I send the pictures to my sister, who is a competition bodybuilder, who is just in amazing shape. And I want her to pick apart the pictures for me. I mean, it's so crazy that's that's what we do instead of just being happy with what we're putting through there, what we're doing. But it's natural. It's life. I look at this and I tell people, life's not always going to be amazing. I mean, the fact that you're living is amazing. The fact that you're breathing is amazing. The fact that you take 2 steps or you go to work or you do something productive for society is amazing. But life is going to suck sometimes. Sometimes the ball's not going to roll your way. But that doesn't mean it's over. It's never, ever over. If you can still open up your eyes, sit up in bed, it is not over. When you open up your eyes, you have a chance. You have a chance to turn everything around, every bad thing you feel. If you're in debt to your eyeballs, if you're in debt and you're drowning in debt and money is the issue, this does not put an end to your life. It doesn't mean that it can turn around. I mean, yeah, you're going to have to climb. You're going to have to dig. You're going to have to work your ass off. But it's not over. All the mistakes that you might have made in your life, it doesn't mean it's over. It's never over as long as you're awake. As long as you're awake, you can still win. And I truly believe that. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give a couple of plugs right now because I didn't always feel this way. At times I felt like, maybe it's not going to get better. And maybe this just is the life that I'm going to live. And maybe I'm always going to feel this way. And this is the doom and the gloom that I'm going to see. And do I really want my kids to see me this way? Maybe I want my family to have a memory of the Chris Wilde that was always happy, the Chris Wilde that was in the ring. And again, like, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and tell you I haven't thought of a funeral where there's just pictures of me being happy. And then that's where it ends for me. Because if I went forward living this miserable lifestyle that I was living, I don't want my family to think of me that way. And maybe that might be a reason. I haven't had many thoughts like that, but maybe that might be the thought. And maybe some people would. I know a lot of people that have, taken their life and have small children. And I know people say, well, how could they do that to their kids? And again, it's the thought of not wanting to put their kids through the hell of seeing them in such pain, or maybe the fact that you're hurting the people around you because of the way you are, because of your mental health. And my thinking was completely turned around when I did get help. I did go to therapy, and I just want to give a huge shout out. And again, if you're local to the Delaware area and you're having thoughts like this, or you're having bad thoughts, or you need to just talk to somebody that isn't going to judge. Lane Johnson says people fear judgment. Like, as a human being, some people just fear judgment. I'll tell you someone that doesn't fear or doesn't judge or doesn't make me fear judgment at all. And that's where I go. And I go to see Jennifer Potts in Delaware, in Dover, Delaware, actually, Counseling and Brain Training Center. Not only has she been there for me just to talk, and again, it's just so much easier to talk to somebody that isn't going to judge you. Again, and family members and loved ones, you might be able to think you can tell them anything. Like, I have like my best friend, Zach Connor. I could, he knows stuff about me that nobody knows, but I still fear his judgment. I still would fear my mother's judgment, my father's judgment. Jennifer is somebody I know she's not going to judge me. I know I can tell her anything. And the advice is there, but more than the advice, it's her ears, and just listening. And also I go there for neurofeedback. Google that, because it would take me another hour to explain neurofeedback to you. But it is brain training. Like I said, I train my body. Why not train my brain? And it's something that has helped me immensely the past couple of years that I've seen her. I mean, it's I really can't put into words what she does, but it's you see here, anxiety, depression. She treats school age children, learning disabilities. PTSD is a big thing, especially for those of you in law enforcement or have been in the military. Sleep disturbance, obsessive thoughts, and memory issues. Again, these are all things that everybody at one point, I think, and again, I can't speak for anybody, but I mean, at one point, you might have had these kind of things going on. So that's Jennifer Potts at Potts Neurophysiological Solutions. Man, you couldn't make that word any longer. Also, I want to throw up this graphic here for the Suicide Prevention Hotline, or Lifeline, as they call it. If you're feeling suicidal thoughts, it doesn't. What's it going to hurt to call this number? It's not going to. I mean, it's give it a shot, give it a chance. Why not? If you're at your wit's end, you think it can't get any better. It's not going to hurt to call this and just to see what they say. Just to see what they say. Even if you have in your mind, you think you have your mind made up, just to call this number and see what can happen at the other end. I don't think would be a waste of time, and I don't think that it could hurt. It absolutely can hurt. They also have a text. You can text home to 741741, the crisis text line, because look, if you're like me, I don't like talking on the phone. I don't. I would rather text all day long. And that's what these people here do. Heroes at the 24-hour National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. I kind of like the word hotline better. Hotline bling, as they say. But it's there, guys. It's absolutely there. And I hope people take advantage of these things that are set in place for us. Because again, this is a Misty, how are you doing? You're welcome. And again, it's just something. I don't exactly know. I don't know if there's right words to say. I really don't. Like I said today, learning about somebody that I've worked with, kind of fall victim to this. It's such a tragedy, and I pray for his loved ones and his family and the entire law enforcement community around me that is definitely going to deal with this, because this is a guy that you see every day. And he had so many stories about, and then just to learn that he's not here anymore because of and again, I don't know what he was thinking, and I think if we could find a way, if there's a way to study the brain and find a person's final thoughts before they took their life, maybe it'd be easier to help. But all I can do right now is just tell everyone out there, and again, if I see that there's some people that are part of this community that are watching, guys, look, it sucks. It absolutely sucks. And I would encourage everyone to tell the good stories about him when you come on shift tonight, or in the morning or in the late afternoon. And because if you give as much time to where the law enforcement community that I'm a part of, you deserve to have the good stories told about you, no matter how it ended. I think you deserve that, because it's absolutely one of the hardest and most stressful jobs that you can have. And it's crazy because we were just talking about him the other day. But speaking of work, I've got to go in a couple hours. I'm going to stay on here for maybe another 15 minutes to get this water down. And just again, just to recap what we're talking about here, mental health. And I showed a video of Lane Johnson. Please, if you're just joining in, please with the play black. Well, I can't speak tonight. See, I can't. Non-prepared for this. Absolutely no notes. Just pretty much turned on the camera and the light and went at it here on ENN. And this is an outlet for me too. This is an absolute outlet for me too. Again, this is kind of talking to this camera and this microphone is kind of therapy for me. And it all started, like, I'm an Eagles fan. So anybody that knows Eagles fans or is an Eagle fan knows being a Philadelphia sports fan, we haven't exactly had it great the past 20 or 30 years that I've been alive. So instead of yelling at my friends or, yelling at myself in the shower about what just happened during a game, I turned on the camera, put on this platform, and just, I don't know who I was talking to. If I was talking to anybody, if a video had 3,000 views or had 15 views, it didn't matter to me, because I was getting it off my chest. And I felt a lot better after doing it. So much better that it became addictive, a good addiction for me. And then, it just went on to live streams like this. With Zach the Ripper Comics, just reviewing The Sopranos, one of our favorite shows of all time, getting stuff off our chest, doing that, movie trailers, music videos, so many different things that this channel and this platform has allowed me to do. So I also tell you that, find your platform. whether it be writing, maybe look, everybody has a camera on their phone nowadays, getting on it and speaking into a microphone. And even if you don't put it on live, maybe it's just something you want to do and you don't send that video out. You don't hit that send for the world to see because you want to be guarded. It's so much better to get all these feelings and all of this that out instead of having it sit inside you. I cannot tell you how awesome that this has been for me. And being able to, again, like, I don't know how many people are going to watch this video. I know the people that I see here. I don't know if anyone's going to take anything out of this at all, but the fact that it is therapy for me to talk, to get this out, it has been a major difference maker for me. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to throw this up there one more time, guys. 1-800-273-8255. That's the suicide prevention. I'm going to call it hotline. They say lifeline. I'm calling it the hotline, bringing it back to the 90s. Remember those 800 numbers back in the 90s? I'm not talking about the dirty ones. I'm talking about like everything had an 800 number back then with wrestling, football, like everything had an 800 number. Then the internet came and kind of killed that. But this 800 number, again, it will not hurt. I guarantee you it will not hurt to. And if you don't like it, you can hang up. That's the beauty of free will. You can always hang up if you don't like it. And if you don't like to talk on the phone, like I don't like to talk on the phone, there's always that text line, 741-741. Text home to that. And again, if you're at your wit's end and you just need somebody to talk to, it's okay to ask for help. And it's not going to hurt, guys. It's really not going to hurt. I promise you. There will be no pain involved in talking to these people. If you're local and you need some help, and again, I'm a very, having 2 small children and 2 careers, I'm not always 100% available, so I can't make that promise to you guys that, look, if you're feeling some way, hit me up. But if you're feeling some way, hit me up, and I will try my hardest to get back to you or point you in the right direction. Like I said, locally for me, Jennifer Potts over at the Counseling and Brain Training Center in Dover, Delaware. By people that are local, if you know where the old lobby house is, it's right in that building. So after you're done your therapy, you can always go and have a good drink if you want to. Because sometimes when I talk to Jen, sometimes I need it. And our staff is absolutely awesome too. They're great, really great. They make you feel welcome as soon as you walk in the door. So Jen is actually in Argentina right now, but her staff is taking care of me while she's been gone. Absolutely have. With that being said, guys, thanks for everyone that has watched. Thanks for everyone that has commented. I know this is a subject that, hey, Patrick Bernard, I see you. You need to come on Body Slams podcast. Yeah, dude, whenever I get time, I've got a couple guys that like have been hitting me up for collabs and stuff. And again, it's just finding the time, but I would love to. Pat is awesome. Another guy who's been in this crazy wrestling world and is in the world of podcasting as well now. And is also a Philadelphia sports fan, so he feels my pain as well. But yeah, I would definitely like to do some stuff with you, and I like to do a lot of different collaborations with some of the guys that are around here. Because again, talking and doing this is just it's really one of my favorite things to do, and I'm so happy that I live in a world with this kind of technology. Because if not, I'd just be talking to myself like I used to, and people thought I was nuts then. People, I think I'm nuts now. But there's so many different outlets, and you just got to find it, man. You just really have to find it. I know someone that, found out that they like to paint that never knew because they were trying to blow off some steam. And the physical fitness world, going to the gym and blowing off steam there while getting your physical fitness good it is also a way. And it's, everything starts with this. Everything starts with the brain, right? That's something that not a lot of people think about. I know I didn't think about it, but everything starts here. This is the biggest muscle in your body. So you can flex, you can work on the buys and the tries all you want to, but if you don't have this isn't good, then all the rest does not matter. It absolutely doesn't matter. And going to neurofeedback and working on parts of my brain that might be lacking some things, definitely has been a huge help, and it's a great technology. Again, we live in a world of technology. Let's take advantage of it, and being able to work on this. So yeah, and right now, I mean, it's like it's the holidays, and I spoke about this in the beginning for those of you just joining. Like, it's one of the most stressful times, man, of the year. It's one of the best times of the year. I absolutely love the holidays. And I'm going to go ahead and put out another cheap plug. I did a video on my top 5 holiday movies, which is on the ENN YouTube channel, Eagles News Now. Just another, and it just reminded me of my childhood. And I know a lot of people might not like to think about their childhood. For me, I think I've had a pretty decent one. And some of these movies just got me right into the holiday spirit. Even though, man, I'll tell you what, having a 11 and 12-year-old is hitting my pocket in ways I never thought could happen. Guys, what happened to action figures and Barbie dolls? Yeah, I'll even take Nintendo games. Now we're talking iPhones. My son wants a $300 anime book set. $300. I love the fact that he wants to read, but a Santa Claus, dude, he's going to have to pull off a miracle to get this $300. It's called One Punch Man. Look, this back in the day, I'm old. I'm not old, guys. I'm not. I know some people disagree with me on that, but back when I was his age, my superheroes were Superman, Batman, Hulk, Iron Man, the Avengers. Now they got this guy called One Punch Man, where his power is he knocks you out with one punch. One punch and you're done. I mean, I wish I would have thought of that concept, because I could be selling a $300 book set. It's like 25 books or something. It's insane to me. Again, I go back to the day of action figures. You know what I mean? $10 action figures, $10 wrestlers. They're a little bit more now, but back then they weren't. And I guess my parents probably thought that was a lot to what they dealt with in their day. But this is going to be the most expensive Christmas, I think, that I've ever had to endure. But for the joy of the children, and the joy of Santa Claus and everything that's Christmas, we'll find a way to get it done. Again, I'm not defeated. If I can open up my eyes, I'm not defeated. I'm not. There's still a way to win. There's still a chance, and that's what I believe. And listen, I've been running my gums for almost 40 minutes now. And really, I just my major goal with this tonight, guys, was just giving people that are close to this tragedy. There's been a couple tragedies the past couple days. If they wanted to talk, if they wanted to blow off some steam, leave some comments, or just listen to somebody talk about some stuff. That was my whole thinking here, because I know sometimes we need it. And again, especially in I have two different personalities, maybe 3 now, but there's Chris Wilde, the wrestler, the champ. There's Chris Wilde, the in law enforcement, and then I guess now there's Chris Wilde, the podcaster. But the law enforcement community is hurting today. The professional wrestling community is hurting from news yesterday. Rest in peace, Jimmy Rave. All my love goes out to Gabby Gilbert and Jimmy Rave's family, of course. What a talent, man! The guy was so good in the ring. Just if you have time and you're a wrestler or you're a wrestling fan, just Google Jimmy Rave or YouTube Jimmy Rave. An ROH closing. This is one of the guys that was instrumental in just having some of the best ROH matches. Back when it was first coming up. Just a tremendous talent, man. Gone way too soon. And then, again, I don't want to release any names of the officer that passed away, because of respect to his family. Those that are watching, if you want to leave the comment, if you want to leave his name in the comments, that's fine. I just don't feel comfortable doing it live from my mouth. But he will definitely be missed. Well over 20 years of service in a very stressful community. And he did it, not just, and we don't do it just for the money. I mean, definitely the money is 90% of it, of course, but there's a part of responsibility that comes with keeping your community safe and being a productive part of your community and your society. And I take As far as in law enforcement, I take great pride in being one of the good ones, because there's a lot of bad ones out there. I take pride in being one of the good ones. I think he was one of the good ones as well. And when you lose one of the good ones, it's never a good thing. And when you lose anybody, it's never a good thing. But in this world, you need good ones. With that being said, guys, I'm going to get off here. But before I do, I'm going to close out with, and again, this live stream is going to be full of copyright claims, I am sure. I don't give a shit today. I don't give a shit because we're talking about mental health and we're talking about being okay, saying it's okay not to be okay. And I want to add a little bit of positivity and a little bit of motivation. So I'm going to leave you with this motivational video. I follow this playlist on Spotify, and I just think it's absolutely awesome, the message that is here. So guys, with that being said, everybody stay safe. If you want to talk, again, there's so many different outlets you can get to. There's the suicide hotline I'll put up again. There are great therapists out there like Jennifer Potts. There's so many around, but this is the one that I go to. And then there's just family members and guys like myself that, can probably put you in the right direction if you're feeling some kind of way. So I'm going to leave you guys with this video, and then I'm going to get my ass in the shower and get ready for work tonight. Thanks everybody for watching. Again, I'm going to leave this video up for a little while. Share it if you want to. Hit subscribe on that YouTube if you would like to. It would definitely be appreciated. This is not what this is about, but it would be appreciated. And here's the video, guys. Go Birds. I'll see you later.
Good you are, I don't care how talented you are. I don't care how much you work on yourself. There's some times when things aren't going to go right. There are times when anything that can happen will happen.
Life happens. The unexpected, the uncalled for, the unintentional. We've been damaged emotionally, damaged spiritually.
It may be your business. It may be your heart that is broken today. It may be the number in your bank account that is screaming, you are broke.
You can break physically, you can break mentally, you can break your heart, you can break your spirit, and all of those are gonna leave a mark. But the mark that they leave can be the mark of victory or it can be the mark of defeat.
It is staying with the breaking that produces the blessing. It is not what you go through that determines where you end up. It's who you listen to. Because I think right now, you are walking through a valley between two voices. One is wisdom, one is worry. One is gratitude, one is grumbling. One is blame, one is faith.
Because every time you break, and in every way that you break, while it's a chance for you to give up and for you to fall apart, but there's also opportunity to get stronger and get smarter and get faster and get tougher and get more stable and get more resilient and get better.
What I need you to do is I need you to find a reason to keep going. And if you can find a reason to keep going, I know you're strong enough to do it because you're human. And every human has what it takes to get past whatever they're going through if they decide to. Push through it. Push through it. Tragedy and trials come to everybody. Only the strong survive.
The fight isn't over. The fight is just beginning. You have the opportunity to show the world what you are really made of.
I need you to look at that sickness that's going on in your life right now, whatever it is. I want you to say, I can beat it. I can beat it. I will beat it. I must. I got a family to live for. I ain't through yet. My life ain't over yet. There's some things in life you don't need no degree for. You don't need no money for it. You don't need no support for it. There's something in life you just gonna get through when you tell yourself, I'm gonna get through this.
Regardless of what happens to you in life, regardless of the adversity, regardless of the opposition, regardless of the trial and tribulation, nothing can stop you. The only thing that can stop you is you. No situation, no circumstance, no piece of adversity can define your life. Never let a circumstance define you.
And I'm not retreating. I'm not running. I don't care what they say on paper. I don't care if you say we outnumbered. We live by this and we die by this. We don't retreat. We don't run. We gonna stand and we gonna live and we gonna die by what we stand for, and everybody gonna know what we represent and what we're a part of.
I got staying power. I got staying power.
Be encouraged today that no matter what you walk through, no matter how broken your marriage is, no matter how many times you failed,
there is within you a spirit that is greater than whatever is going on around you.
If you would be willing to fight your way through this battle, fight your way through cancer, fight your way through that academic struggle, fight your way through divorce, fight your way through it. If you are willing to fight your way through that singing career, fight your way through boxing, fight your way through football, I'm telling you, at the end of the fight is going to come victory.
And as you crawl up and out of that dismal and wretched place, as you rise above what you were, and as you take the form of who you are supposed to be, you will see that in the very act of standing up, in the very act of fighting on, you will become and you will remain unbroken.
The following announcement has been paid for by
the ENN Podcast.
He has a good energy, you guys.
Yeah. Can you believe it? Can
Sports.
you feel it? Can you feel that excitement?
The merchandise, wearing the hats. Chris Wild here live from Lincoln Financial. And I'm telling you, if you let Eli Manning walk into that stadium and make you look stupid and get a Giants W.
Music.
Wow. Whoa.
And more.
What's his next book gonna be called? Spineless?
Mike.